Are you one of the few people who remember an extended fight against the Rancor when you first saw Return of the Jedi in theaters? If not, did George Lucas Jedi mind trick you into forgetting? Or are these whispers of an alternate battle simply the influence of the Mandela effect?
The Force can have a strong influence on the weak-minded.
For those unfamiliar, the Mandela effect is when a large portion of the population collectively remembers something differently from whatever actually happened. An example is the way so many people misremember the iconic line as "Luke, I am your father," rather than the correct
No, I am your father.
Over 1/3 of you guys recall seeing extra shots in the theater that you can't find anywhere now, so if there's something you think you might remember, share the details in the comments.
Your eyes can deceive you, don't trust them.
For now, let's explore the alternate Rancor fight that was supposedly shown in some cinemas. In this version, Luke and the Gamorrean guard would have squared up with each other before the beast emerges from the gates. This would have evoked the atmosphere of the ancient gladiator arena, where the fighters think they're each other's opponents only to be ambushed by a hungry lion. As the pig guard meets his demise, Luke uses his Jedi agility to leap back up to where he first fell, grabbing onto the bars and swinging back and forth. The spectators all start freaking out, and Jabba frantically calls for someone to do something.
Do something.
A couple of Jawas come waddling over and decide to demolish Luke's fingers with their blasters. I don't care what your hand's made out of, that's gotta hurt. If only he had his lightsaber, he could have easily sliced a hole and made his escape. Don't be like Luke. Make sure you're always properly equipped by taking advantage of the 50% off sale on StarWarsAnalyst.com. We recently released a certified Luke Skywalker lightsaber replica, so head on over to the link in the description because only 5 more of these will ever be sold. Anyway, in another video I explained how an earlier reveal of the new green blade would have actually ruined the brilliance of the opening sequence. But stick with me, because I'm about to unveil the sheer genius of George Lucas's storytelling and change the way that a lot of you see Return of the Jedi forever. Listen closely as I reveal the intricacies of the narrative that lies at the core of Star Wars, a modern myth that's impacted generations.
I did research to try to distill everything down into motifs that would be universal. I attribute most of the success to the psychological underpinnings, which have been around for thousands of years, and the people still react the same way to the stories as they always have.
Luke's fight against the Rancor is George Lucas's iteration of the mythical slaying of the beast motif. I mean, look at it, it's this absolutely hideous monster, but it's also not particularly evil like Vader or the Emperor. It's just a part of the feral, barbaric side of nature, the same dark nature that also drives many of Luke's instincts. So naturally, Luke's external fight against the archetypal monster is a parallel to the conflict with his internal monster as well. When Luke has his vision in the cave, Yoda warns him not to bring his weapons.
What's in there?
Only what you take with you.
The fact that Luke fights the Rancor unarmed is particularly significant because it's symbolic of the way that he finally destroys the generational beast within himself and his father.
Your weapons. You will not need them.
This classic moment in Luke's hero journey echoes in his final confrontation with Vader, where he throws his lightsaber away and chooses compassion. Even though Luke doesn't show mercy to the Rancor, defeating it without a lightsaber emphasizes that the true strength of a Jedi comes from within, and that it's our choices that determine our destiny.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
And in this climactic moment, it's Luke's willingness to lay down his sword that inspires Anakin's redemption and the ultimate victory over the dark side. I have a collection of exclusive deleted scene breakdowns from the original trilogy. This playlist is not available for the public, so if you want to gain access to members-only content like this, tap the button on the left and join the channel today.